Victory Monday, YouTube. Weather's not as great today. It's kind of, it's getting to that late fall type, well, mid-fall, I should say, but whatever. Bengals going to their bye week 3-3. Good feeling. What was I going to say? We had good football in general this week. Now, make no mistake about it. Even though the Bengals won, it was because of our defense. I mean, that's the whole reason we won that game. Because, hey, I got to give them credit. They stepped up. They stopped Seattle twice in the red zone, which is not easy to do. And they made the plays we needed to, and that's why we won the game. So I think the offense had total yardage was like 210, 211. It's just not good, guys. It's way too inconsistent. You know, I understand, and Seattle's got a good secondary. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, I understand the 15 catches Jamar Chase did have. It was against the Cardinals. I know. But this offense is not 100%. You can totally see that. Joe Burrow is, I think, you know, he seems like he's doing okay, but he doesn't. You know what I mean? It's like he's still playing hurt maybe a little bit, which I know, you know, it takes quite a few weeks or sometimes even a year to get over that. And keep in mind, Joe Burrow also, I think it's the same leg, had an ACL injury, what was it, 3 years ago? So you got to keep that in mind. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I know if you re-injure something, it's not good. So anyway, 3-3, good feeling. They're back-to-back weeks victorious for the first time this year. Both the teams that were undefeated, I think there was only two. Both the teams that were undefeated going into this week took a loss. And, you know, honestly, that could be really what sparks them. You know, I think that every time that a team gets real far into the season, they're undefeated, I think they feel a lot of pressure. So I think, honestly, San Fran losing was probably not a bad thing. Because San Fran, in my opinion, we'll get to this in a second, but they're arguably the top two, if not the best. And I'm going to tell you who the next best team is, and nobody's talking about them, is the Detroit Lions. I'm telling you guys, you know why the Lions are so successful? Because I'm telling you guys, them players will literally jump in front of a train for that guy. They will run through the thickest wall possible. That is why it is so important to have a good coaching staff. Because, you know, I mean, it's they like this guy. They want to play for this guy. You can tell the teammates, the other coaches, the players on the sideline, they respect Dan Campbell. They like this guy. And with that being said, they're going to run through a wall for him. I mean, the Bengals, I don't think they mind Zach Taylor, but it's nothing like the relationship that Dan Campbell and the Lions got. Not even close. The Browns, let's get on them for a second. I've always said the Browns are a decent team. Or last year, that I was saying they weren't as bad as their record. They've always had a decent defense, and the Cleveland Browns, man, their defense is not a joke. I mean, they shut down arguably probably the best offense in the NFL yesterday. And there was a bad call. I do agree with the 49er fans about that helmet-to-helmet contact. There was no helmet. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's not just the Bengals. It's the whole National Football League. The refereeing in this game just freaking flat out sucks dog shit. I don't even know if you've... Whatever. I don't know if that made sense, but you know what I mean. The officiating in this league is just horse shit. It's terrible. And that's sad because they know Roger Goodell knows that he doesn't have to invest in good officiating because he knows, well, it's the NFL. Everybody's going to come back to it. It don't matter how bad the horse shit officiating is. They're always going to be there. So it's kind of like EA Sports. You know, they will, they're not going to improve anything because they know people are going to run right out and buy their product anyway, which gags me. But that's a different subject. But it's the same thing. That's why in Madden you get the same mediocrity every single year. And actually it gets worse because every time they do quote unquote change something, it's usually to the gameplay, which makes it even more confusing and even worse. So that is the problem I see with the NFL. The officiating is flat out terrible. And that's a compliment. I mean, it's bad. But not to take anything away from the Browns because, like I said, they are a good team. And San Francisco's obviously a good team. So, you know, we could raise questions about that, you know, 100 times. But I honestly, here's what I've come to determine. There's no sense of getting upset about it because it's not going to do any good anyway. The NFL ain't going to do anything about it. They just keep raking in your money. So, I mean, let's just call it the way it is. Hey, I love football. Don't get me wrong. But half the reason I don't get excited about football much anymore, it's not because the Bengals are not having a great year. It's the frickin' officiating has turned me away. And the NBA is getting just as bad too, by the way. That's, you know, I honestly thought maybe the NFL was the worst, but after watching the NBA last year, it's just as bad, if not worse. Professional sports, I've always said, guys, there's too much money and politics involved. That's why there's a lot of NFL fans that watch college football, and I think I'm going to start doing that. I have a couple of college teams in my area that I could watch. But anyway, I know we got off subject there, but getting back to the Detroit Lions, I said last year, the way they finished, I said this team's going to be a problem. And look now, they're 5-1, should be 6-0, and they're dangerous, man. I think if Detroit went up against San Fran or Philly right now, it's honestly a toss-up who would win, because I think Detroit is that good. Or at least if they're not that good, they're that good because they want to do everything in their power to make that coach happy. So, anyways, guys, 3-3, good feeling. I'm sorry if it's a little warm, but 3-3 is a good feeling, and we got a bye week. Oh, by the way, thank God we don't have to play the Niners. Like, we got to play them in 2 weeks, but hey, at least we're not playing the game right after they lost this game because I got a bad feeling. I'm going to feel sorry for the next team the Niners play because I think the Niners are going to bury them. They're going to be pissed off that they lost. So, anyways, guys, good week of football. And I'll be making some more videos soon.